Hello, this is Naman J. Coker, Principal, Simple Cell Home Buyers, my home buying company, Realtor, RPB Realty, because I am a licensed salesperson in New York. I want to talk today about more marketing. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine earlier today. He reached out to me. This is a gentleman who's also flipping houses, buying rentals on Long Island. He just had some really good success. He's got like six figures in the bank that he doesn't need to fund his direct business at the moment. He doesn't need it to fund his lifestyle at the moment. So he's got this money and he wants to allocate it back towards marketing to generate more leads and more potential houses to flip and renovate and rent out. So he's got like a six-figure budget to start doing marketing. So we were talking about different things that he could be doing. And one thing that he mentioned to me, we talked in the past about going into digital marketing, something called pay-per-click, which is basically Google AdWords, where you go and you basically pay Google and they put up your advertisement every time someone searches on the Google search engine for a particular keyword. So for my business, I want to buy houses that need work so I could flip them. So I will bid on keywords like sell my house fast, or I need to sell my house, or cash buyers that buy as is houses. Like if someone's searching up those kind of terms, I want my advertisement to show up there that says, hey, I buy houses, click here, give me your information, I'll call you. That's basically pay-per-click. And then there's other forms of pay-per-click. That's the most popular form. That's Google AdWords. And then there's other forms like programmatic display, are little ads that show up on websites. So let's say you were on opendoor.com and then an ad popped up from my company that says, hey, you want to offer on your house, click here. That's also a form of pay-per-click. So we were talking about that in the past, and he had a conversation with another investor, I think yesterday or the day before, and that person was saying how they had spent $60,000 of the US variety and basically got zero return on that. You know, a lot of leads were spam, a lot of wrong numbers, etc. So my friend was discouraged. He said, I don't think I'm going to put any money into pay-per-click as a result of this conversation. And so we got to talking a little bit, and I started to explain that I don't think we can really intelligently take one person's experience and extrapolate that across that entire lead channel and say PPC, pay-per-click, just doesn't work. I don't think that's the case. I know there's several investors, even in my market, that are doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing, which is pay-per-click marketing. Which is buying houses to flip, are having success with pay-per-click. So to take one person's experience it's really not a good way to figure out where you're going to spend your money. There's so many different variables as to why that person could have not had success doing this. For example, they could have hired a pay-per-click vendor, which a lot of people do, that didn't know what the hell they were doing. They could have been using shitty ad copy. They could have been using really poor, they could have had a really poor landing page. So every time someone clicked onto their website, clicked onto their ad and went to their website, it was just like all gobbledygook, and nobody wanted to fill out their information, and it didn't seem like it was a credible website. So there could have been a lot of things going on. And so there's a lot of variables that determine whether the dollars you're spending on a marketing channel are actually going to produce an ROI. A personal example of mine is I've actually spent, over the course of a year, $30,000 on search engine optimization services, and that's called the short name for that is SEO. And what that basically is optimizing your website so that it ranks well organically. So not the paid stuff, but just the organic searches that are not paid, that Google basically makes its bread and butter money off of every time we do a Google search. That valuable content that pops up. So you want to be number one. If someone types in "need to sell my house fast," I want my website to pop up as the first search hit that is organic. In other words, I haven't paid to be there. Google just ranks me number one for that search term in that market because it thinks I'm a credible website for that search term. That's the art of getting your website to rank that well is called search engine optimization. So I spent $30,000 over the course of 12 months trying to get my website to rank well, and it produced maybe 3 leads, no deals. Basically, it was a bust, and there was a lot of things wrong with what I did and how I did it. I can't go out and confidently say SEO sucks or it doesn't work. I can't say that because, in fact, I have friends, really good friends, that are also in the real estate investment business in my market who are crushing it, absolutely crushing it with SEO. It's their number one channel for producing deals, deals meaning houses that they can purchase that they can flip and make a profit from. I think they do half of their business from SEO leads. So I can't say that SEO doesn't work just because I had a poor experience with it. So it's very important. And then so we came up with these 3 takeaways on our call that I wanted to share, which is, one is the way I think about marketing is that it has an escape velocity. An escape velocity in rocket science is actually the minimum velocity that a rocket needs to be able to escape the gravity of Earth. So if it's going too slow, gravity is going to pull this rocket down, it's going to crash to the ground, and everybody's going to die. And we don't want that. We need the velocity to be high enough or fast enough so that it can break through the gravitational force of the Earth that's pulling everything down, and then it can make it out into outer space, and we could do space exploration, and we could go to the moon, and we could go to Mars, and we could go everywhere else, and we could meet the aliens. So that's what we want when it comes to space exploration and rocket science. We need to be able to at least meet that minimum escape velocity, and marketing works the same way. We need to do enough marketing. We need to spend enough dollars on marketing so that we can escape the noise of everybody else doing marketing. So how many text messages am I sending out? How many cold calls am I sending out? How many leads is that producing, and how many deals does that get? I need to track that, and I need to know what's the minimum amount of effort that I need to produce in order to get a deal. And then I can rinse and repeat that process and adjust as my numbers change. Same thing with pay-per-click marketing, with direct mail marketing, with everything. Any type of marketing that you're doing, you have to be able to figure out over time what's the minimum amount of dollars I need to spend to produce a return on that investment. And if I'm not spending at least that minimum, I'm basically wasting my dollars because I'm never going to break through the noise, that gravitational pull of all the other competition that's doing marketing, and I'm not going to break through and get into the seller's mind, which is what the point is of marketing. So they call you or they respond to your message or whatever the case may be. So you could have a conversation with them about their needs and wants as far as selling their property goes. So that's one thing, this idea of escape velocity. Are you doing enough? Are you spending enough? And are you putting in enough inputs to even break through that noise barrier of everyone else that's doing marketing? And if you're not, you're basically wasting your marketing dollars because you're never going to get a good return on that investment. The second thing that's important, the second takeaway, is the type of mindset that you need to have when it comes to marketing and like entrepreneurship in general, is that there's really no such thing as lost money, especially when it comes to exploring different channels in marketing. And what I mean by that is all the money that you spend in marketing, and you might try different things, is not all going to have a tangible return on your investment. But that doesn't mean it was money down the drain or money lost, because you probably learned something from that experience. You probably realized that this ad copy sucked. You probably realized, like, okay, cold calling doesn't work in this market as well, or I don't have a good enough system because I'm producing so many shitty leads when I'm cold calling, and then I don't have a way to process all those leads to get down and sift through and get to the really good leads. And so you might say, okay, I need to make a few more hires to help me get through all these leads. So you start to learn and you start to tweak. And as long as you stay in the game, it's not money down the drain. What it really is an education. It's a lesson learned. As long as you stay in the game and tweak your results and make the adjustments as the data comes back to you. And then you make those adjustments, and what ends up happening over time, slowly you're perfecting your marketing process, and you're getting into those channels that are producing good returns, and you're making the tweaks in your ad copy or in your process and in your systems to optimize, to create a higher and higher return on your investment, until you have basically a bulletproof marketing system, and then you could just rinse and repeat that process until it doesn't work anymore. Which leads me to the third takeaway, which is to remember, and this is going to sound like an oxymoron, there is no such thing as a rinse and repeat marketing process, because what works today may not work tomorrow. In fact, if something works really well today, that usually means that tomorrow it's not, or in the near future, it's not going to work as well, because as more and more marketers pile into something like that's new, like text message marketing was 5 years ago, more and more people are going to pour into that, and then there's going to be more and more noise, and then that escape velocity to get through all that noise is going to get higher. So you're going to have to spend more time, more money, more energy to get through to people with texting, as an example, over time, as more people get into that marketing channel. So nothing is rinse and repeat. Marketing that works today may not work tomorrow, and it's a constant battle of figuring out where you need to go. You have to track your metrics, you have to try things, you have to dabble in things. Just this year, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars dabbling in different forms of marketing channels that just didn't produce a result. So I could sit here and say, man, I lost tens of thousands of dollars this year on marketing that sucks. But I don't really think of it that way, because I am learning from what doesn't work. I learn from what works, I learn from what doesn't work, and then I adjust my business and I pivot my dollars and I reallocate them to marketing that works, and then I make adjustments so that I could see if I could optimize the returns on those dollars spent, and so forth and so on. So those are the 3 keys I wanted to leave this video and everybody viewing this video with. Is 1 is that idea of escape velocity. 2 is the mindset of dollars are not wasted, even if they don't produce a ROI, as long as you stay in the game and make adjustments. And 3, there's no marketing channel that's going to work flawlessly, indefinitely, forever. And there's ebbs and flows and everything as people get into something, and then as people get out of that marketing because they didn't produce a good ROI. And those people that stay consistent and continue to track their metrics will be able to navigate that better than those who are just kind of fly by night and coming in and out of the business. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment. If you have ideas and you'd like me to talk on a specific topic, send it to me and I'll be happy to make that video.